You are now listening to the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Almost. Major. Holy fucking shit, this is major!
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Almost Major, where we talk about the many major studios and the films they release. We are on our Geffen Pictures mini-series. My name is Kevin Tudor. I'm here with Brian Doyle.
Hello.
And it's super special joining us once again. Seeing here the top one redhead in America. It is Mitchell Beaupre. How are you?
Hello. Thank you for getting my credentials in there. I really appreciate it. Not a lot of people mention it, but like the poll was run, so it's important to get that stat out there.
It's very odd that poll was on every page of Letterboxd and nobody knew how to get rid of it.
And there's only one selection for who you can answer. People were trying to write in Amy Adams. It was like, no.
What has she done lately? You see this app? That's because of me. How's Letterboxd on the editorial side been going? I see that Dan Mecca's been like pestering you about Irish movies. There's that.
That's true. That's been on there. Yeah, good. No, good, solid. We just did our like halfway year in review thing of like the highest rated movies of the year, like on Letterboxd, which Project Hail Mary's #1 on, which I'm not a big Project Hail Mary person, but like that's fine. Nirvana was #2, Obsession was #3. So yeah, solid. It was, good times.
You could change the top to just be Alpha and the Lorne documentary. And people would be like, this place got hacked because there's no way. It'd be like, what's wrong with that? Like, a lot of people feel that way.
This is very normal. You can clearly see the numbers right here.
I saw the Lorne documentary in theaters. Hell yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah. Me and like 8 other people.
Did you double feature it with the Melania documentary?
No, it was sold out. No, me and past future guest Paul went to go see Mile End Kicks. I dropped him off and I was just like, sorry, this is something only I can do, and I went to go see the Lorne documentary.
This one's just for me.
Good. What's your top one movie of the year?
Me?
Yeah.
Right now it's this movie called The Wait, that it doesn't come out until September. It played at like Sundance, but it's like it's very Sorcerer. It takes place like Depression era. Ethan Hawke is a father who gets kind of imprisoned and has to do this like transport stolen gold like through kind of the jungle, through the woods more, with like a band of guys, and it's very intense. And I really love it. They clearly like made it with reverence for Sorcerer, and I think that plays very well. I also love Teenage Sex and Death and Miasma a lot. What about you guys? What's your number ones?
Alpha. Love Alpha.
Really need to see that. Mine is Disclosure Day. That was my
Love Disclosure Day. Yeah.
What are we talking about? Before we got lost in conversation. We're talking about Lost in America 1985. Its release March 15th, 1985 in 6 theaters. It maxed out at 315 theaters and peaked at a spot 11 at the box office. Top 5 films that weekend. Beverly Hills Cop. Witness.
Hell yeah.
The Breakfast Club. The Sure Thing. And Into the Night.
Oh, Into the Night's fun. That's kind of, well, I guess it'll be on the next episode. We'll be talking about After Hours, but Into the Night is a very After Hours coded movie.
I have not seen that. I have not seen that or The Sure Thing. The Sure Thing is, who did that?
Rob Reiner?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Beverly Hills Cop. Well, we'll be talking about the game when we talk about the pinch in After Hours. He gets like 10 seconds of time. Pinch, my man. Winner of the National Society of Film Critics Awards for Best Screenplay. The budget for this is $4 million. Opening weekend made $154,877, and domestic and overall gross of $10.1 million. Number one song in the U.S. this week is "Can't Fight This Feeling" by REO Speedwagon. Hell yeah! And number one song in Canada this week is "Neutron Dance" by the Pointer Sisters. I guess, which is in Beverly Hills Cop, so I get it. Plot description from Google. After being snubbed at his advertising job, Los Angeles yuppie David Howard, played by Albert Brooks, convinces his wife Linda, played by Julie Haggerty, to quit her job and join him on a cross-country road trip. The two liquidate their assets and leave the West Coast in a Winnebago, intent on finding themselves and discovering America. But during a stop in Las Vegas, the couple loses their savings at a roulette wheel. It's not really a couple, it's one, but whatever. And begins to see that their idealized notion of the American experience is terribly misguided. Could have ended that plot description 3 different times. They just kept talking. But
That's quite a bit of the movie.
be like, yeah, he gets snubbed for a job and they go cross country. I'd be like, I'll watch that. Be like, I don't need to know that you lost all your money. Like, I'm already in the. All right.
It's a very fleetly paced movie. It's like what that happened. It's like a 90-minute movie, and like that's like happens like halfway through.
Does Albert Brooks have a movie like over 90 minutes? Like, very, very, very economical filmmaker.
I don't think so in terms of the ones that he's directed. I feel like they're all kind of around the 100-minute mark.
Yeah, like we did Defending Your Life. I feel like that was maybe like 100 minutes, but
That was like 100, 105. Yeah.
That's a great movie.
oh, so good. Yeah.
Written and directed by Albert Brooks and co-written with Monica Johnson, who previously worked uncredited writing for the first season of SNL, helping with the scripts for Brooks' SNL shorts, and went on to work with Brooks on the scripts of Modern Romance in 1981, Real Life in 1979, Mother in 1996, The Muse in 99, and of course, The Scout in 1994. I believe that's the only movie that he wrote but didn't direct. The Scout, 94. Brooks previously wrote and directed and starred in the Real Life, Modern Romance. After this, Defending Your Life in 1991, listen to our episode, Mother, The Muse, and Looking for Comedy in the Muslim World in 2005. Looking for Comedy in the Muslim World, there's no way there's a Blu-ray of that. There's barely a DVD.
Yeah, no. I think that's the only one at this point that hasn't gotten a bunch of, like, even The Muse has a Blu-ray.
When did that happen?
I think a little while back. It doesn't have like any kind of like fancy one. Everything else is kind of like Criterioned up at this point. But yeah, Looking for Comedy I think is still just DVD, and then The Muse is kind of like a bare bones basic Blu-ray.
Starring Albert Brooks as David Howard. Prior to this, many of SNL's short films that he directed and wrote and starred in. Taxi Driver in 1976. It's not We Are the People, is We Are the People. Yeah. I think of that every day. Real Life, 1979. I also think of, oh God, what's his name? I'm terrible with names. Who's Bad Lieutenant? Harvey Keitel. Harvey Keitel in Taxi Driver. I love him when he first is talking to De Niro. Just like, go on, have a good time.
It's some of the most disgusting shit ever, but like he sells it. Ugh,
I'm hip. You don't look hip. Oh, so good. Real Life in 1979, Private Benjamin in 1980. After this, Broadway News in 1987, nominated for Best Supporting Actor. I'll Do Anything in 1994. I was gonna say, Mitchell, you seem like you have a take on this, but it looks like you've never seen it.
I haven't seen I'll Do Anything. No, it's maybe the only James Brooks movie I haven't seen, I think.
You're waiting for that musical cut.
Yeah. They just announced like a Blu-ray of I'll Do Anything for the first time, but it only has the theatrical cut. It doesn't have the musical cut on it.
No. Which I do want to see because of the Prince involvement, even though Prince in 94 is not exact, well, somewhat, but still, I will watch it because of that, even though I've heard just like theatrical wise, it's just like, no, not that good, but...
Yeah, I never heard good things.
Brian, have you seen it? You've seen it, right?
I saw the theatrical cut. I think what happened was, this is maybe something that time forgot, but back in like 2020, there was, do either of you remember there was that sort of pirate TV network Cinephobe where they would show like obscure or older movies like on like a sort of 24/7 broadcast on the internet.
Yeah.
At one point, I think it was like in summer 2020, they said, they'd have like the schedule and they say, we got it, we're screening I'll Do Anything musical cut. And I think people were talking about it on Twitter, and then they got hit with a cease and desist from the Prince estate, and they didn't end up showing it. I was like, and I think ahead of time I'd watched like the theatrical cut thinking, well I'm gonna watch that, and then I'll watch the musical cut, and then like they didn't do the musical cut. I was like, so now I've just seen I'll Do Anything for no reason, basically.
I got hyped up for I mean, the Prince estate, don't get me started on the fucking Prince estate. 8-hour documentary we could have gotten from the director of OJ Made in America. And they said, how are we going to sell Purple Rain tumblers with this? Fuck off. Okay. Who could forget his role as Tiger in Dr. Dolittle in 1998, also Out of Sight in 1998. My First Mister in 2001, that's a cute movie. Finding Nemo, sure. What about The In-Laws in 2003? Anybody seen The In-Laws?
Yeah, I have the VHS somewhere in my parents' basement.
I hope it has mold. The Simpsons movie in 2007 is basically doing a version of Hank Scorpio, but still incredible, which he guested on 10 times from 1990 to 2025. He's on The Simpsons last year. Are they lying? Who knows? He's my favorite thing he's ever done. I'm sorry to be a straight white man. Drive in 2011. He is fucking phenomenal in Drive. Listen to our episode that never came out. And Ellen McKay last year.
Yeah.
I also forgot he had a 4-episode stint on Weeds
Oh yeah.
and played a
I forgot
version
about
of
that, too.
himself on Curb Your Enthusiasm in 2021. What do you remember about Weeds, actually, Mitchell? No, never mind. I just remember the last episode where it was just like, what if they're in the future and they smoked weed? And I was just like, 7 seasons of my life. Also starring, Julie Haggerty as Linda Howard. Prior to this, her first fucking film role is Airplane in 1980. But I did find out while doing this, her first role was actually All That Jazz, but her role was cut out.
Oh.
Either way, Midsummer Night's Sex Comedy and Airplane 2, the sequel in 1982. Beyond Therapy in 1987, which I've heard is just, no, stay away. What About Bob in 1991? Hell yeah. Noises Off! Exclamation point in 1992. U-Turn in 1997. The Story of Usher in 1999. Her best role and best film, Freddie Got Fingered in 2001. And Storytelling in 2001. A Guy Thing in 2003, which was a LimeWire watch at the time. A Master Builder in 2013. And Marriage Story in 2019. And she's apparently in the upcoming M. Night film, Remain.
Ooh,
Oh, hell yeah.
Very exciting.
Yeah. Also starring Michael Green, Gary Marshall, who said in his autobiography that he was annoyed by Brooks demanding so many numerous takes of their scene together, but saw that him being frustrated from that made the scenes funnier and deferred to Brooks. Yeah, it's the best thing you've ever done, man. Is that scene. We didn't have to do this on the, it was afterwards, on The Other Sister. Yeah, whatever. I clicked on his account after I watched the movie, and I was like, what has Gary Marshall made? And then I saw all the movies, so I was like, oh yeah. And then I closed it, I was like, what movies has Gary Marshall made? Just out of my brain immediately.
I think I've beaten this drum before. Flamingo Kid with Matt Dillon. Charming. Good movie. And then there's some other stuff in there that maybe is like just okay, but I do like that one a lot.
Oh, God, it's a Sopranos meme. Flamingo Kid. It was cool. Trivia. Bill Murray was considered for the lead of David Howard, but due to Murray being heavily booked at the time, Albert Brooks decided to not delay the film a year and play the part himself, which feels weird that it was not out of the gate played by Albert Brooks, but I can also see Bill Murray at the time doing this. Yeah. What was he booked up at? Is it Ghostbusters 2?
No, it was Ghostbusters 1. Brooks was trying to get the movie made in 83, 84. Okay. And so he was trying to, he never really liked acting. He kind of was he did a lot of the acting as a means to get funding for the movies, and it's easier to finance. If you're a name like he is, but also it's easier to finance if you're hiring somebody to be the writer, director, and actor. But with Lost in America, after doing his first 2 movies and starring in them, he wanted to try and get a star in the movie. So he was looking for Bill Murray, and the way that he tells it is it was 1983, and the Bill Murray's people got back and they're like, Bill's in, he's so excited to do it, he'll be available in 1987. And so then Albert was like, I guess I'll just do it myself then.
Well, that is interesting because after Finding Nemo, he basically is barely acts because it's
it makes sense that he only kind of he mostly just does his own movies, and then every now and then there'll be something he really wanted to work with Nicholas Winding Refn, and really sold himself on Refn wasn't as super into the idea, and Brooks sort of almost intimidated him into it a little bit. But also I did read that Refn what also kind of got him around was seeing Albert Brooks in Lost in America, and seeing that there are moments in Lost in America where he can be like terrifying and kind of like using that, like turning that from comedy into drama.
I mean, yeah, like the moment when Julie he's like, if you grab that keynote, I'll kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have that in my trivia here because it just Refn is just so funny. What if a man made one good movie? Nicholas Winding.
Well, I mean, who knows?
The Pusher movies, I'll watch them, but
I like the second and third one a lot, and he has a new movie, I guess, coming out this month. I keep forgetting about that.
Sure he does.
Private Hell.
No?
It got destroyed. I can, but I know some. I've seen some people standing up for it, but I don't know. I'm like. I like Drive well enough. I'm not like obsessed with it, but it is always interesting. Like Refn stuff always has like its defenders, but then it's kind of like, really, you like Neon Demon? Like that's
it's always a while for that kind of drum to come out. Oh My God Forgives was sort of another one where it's like, well, that was like notorious because like it was like Drive was like such a hit, and then Oh My God Forgives, people were like, what the fuck is this? And then like people were like, that's his best movie, and it's like, oh, okay, it's fine.
Okay. I will never forget seeing that in theaters, driving way too far away to see that, and like in the first 5 minutes there's a line of dialogue which I will not repeat, and somebody just goes, oh, fuck this, and walked out. Refn,
good for them.
I mean, I'm sure at the time I was like, maybe I need to watch that again. Stupid. I was like 20. I didn't know anything. Refn cast Brooks in Drive because he said he saw the film as a teenager, was really terrified by the scene where Brooks screams at Haggerty. He said in an interview in September 2011 that, quote, Albert Brooks was like a volcano of emotions. There was something really unique and threatening. I feel that this guy eventually, he will kill somebody. So let's make it into a movie. You got that from Lost in America? Like, which reminds me, I'm very sorry, of a Kevin Smith story about John Peters wanting Sean Penn as Superman, and John Peters saying, look at Sean Penn in Dead Man Walking. He's got the eyes of a fucking killer. And Kevin Smith goes, dude, it's Superman. For the cross-country shoot, 30 cast and crew were crammed into a 2 Winnebago, staying overnight in cheap hotels. Albert Brooks said, we got as far as Phoenix before everybody stopped talking to each other. That sounds fun to me. I don't know. The use of Frank Sinatra's New York, New York was one of the production's biggest success. Brooks has said that at the time he believed that Sinatra had not allowed use of his recording of the song in a movie that he also did not appear in. He wrote a letter to Sinatra's attorney, which I'm sure is just great, and then wrote a subsequent letter to Sinatra himself, for which he got the rights. The Linda Howard character was played by Julie Haggerty, was partially inspired by Monica Johnson, the co-writer, who actually did enjoy gambling in real life. And lastly, this film was originally developed for ABC Motion Pictures, but by the time the script was finished, the company had folded and a new financier was sought, which ended up being Geffen Pictures. ABC Motion Pictures also produced Silkwood, Prizzi's Honor, and of course, National Lampoon's Class Reunion. That's right. They lasted for like 3 years.
So you're saying future mini major?
No.
Speed run on it.
Silkwood. Yeah, there's an Oklahoma movie that if you say that out loud
That
too
makes
far,
sense because like Silkwood's like not available. Like right?
It was a
Isn't
Kino
that...
Blue, and now it's out of print. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, back when I lived in Oklahoma and I was still screening movies, I asked my friend who I screen movies with, I was like, how about Silkwood? He's like, we're not doing that. I was like, okay, I'm not going to mention that again.
This is David and Linda Howard. They're happily married.
I want to have sex with you right here. Right now, right here.
And they're about to have a day
This is it.
they'll remember the rest of their lives.
David, you're fired. Fired? Oh, I'm fired.
Now, they're going to drop out
We have to touch Indians. We have to see the mountains and the prairies and the whole rest of that song.
set out to find the American dream.
Well, the movie you're basing your whole life on Easy Rider, they had no nest egg.
They had a giant nest egg. They had all this cocaine.
And wind up lost in America.
To America, look out.
You have a reservation?
Well, I just dropped out of society. I kind of live moment to moment. I really don't do reservation things anymore. How much is left in the nest egg?
Nothing. Well, give or take 1,000.
Give or take 1,000. As the boldest experiment in advertising history, you give us our money back.
We're finished talking.
The Geffen Company presents Albert Brooks and Julie Haggerty, Lost in America.
Great movie. You gotta see it. It's historic.
But yeah, that's all the trivia I got. Initial thoughts. Mitchell, it looks like from your apparel. This is your first time watching it, so I do want to get your opinion.
I've never heard of what is Lost in America. What I can't. I wasn't following the plot description.
Yeah, the movie's playing right now, silently on with your laptop.
I'm just watching. I'm watching it on the side here. This seems pretty interesting. This guy doesn't seem happy at his job, guys. I love Lost in America. I mean, Albert Brooks is one of my favorite filmmakers. Lost in America and Modern Romance especially are probably like the two movies that I've seen the most, like in my life, like period. I really watch them at least like a few times a year, both of them. And there's something that I find very comforting about his sort of style of filmmaking and his style of comedy, which is interesting because he really leans into the lack of likability in the characters that he plays, the sort of like Albert Brooks type that he goes for. But that's something that I find really endearing. I love somebody who's brave enough to like write, direct, and star in a movie, and like your character is not particularly likable.
All those years, and the entire thesis is of, yeah, I'm not cool. I kind of suck.
And that's kind of what works for the movie, like the idea that like this guy thinks that he's cool, and like he really leans into Easy Rider, and like they're gonna be like Easy Rider, and like that, you know, they're really taking this like the yuppies idea of like the counterculture and trying to like profit off of that in their own way, where they can be cool and they can cut out all of the bullshit and go out on their own and be free. But they're like, his version of being free and throwing it all away is them buying a Winnebago, like taking the most like lush like tour, and then also having $100,000 still in savings that they can fall back on at any time.
Yeah.
Bryden, first time watch? Rewatch?
No, I'd seen this a few years ago. I think I was like, I might have like just turned 20 when I saw it, which is just funny to think about. That feels like forever ago. I think I watched it one weekend when I was home from school, and it, like I looked in between my Letterboxd logs. It was like I watched this sandwiched in between The Weatherman, which I think I watched when I was staying at my residence, and then after I saw Lost in America, I went with my parents. I drove like an hour with them out of town to go see The Girl in the Spider's Web. So I'm gonna say Lost in America, the best of those three movies.
I don't even think the director of Spider's Web would have driven an hour to watch Spider's Web. Also, who's the director of Spider's Web? I dare you.
Fede Alvarez, of course.
Oh fuck, it is.
Yeah, it's. And I was
also,
like, yeah.
What if a man
great.
only made one good movie? Also,
yeah.
Actually, you might have two. Continue.
Yeah, which one's the good
Yeah.
one? Evil Dead, Don't Breathe.
I
thought Don't Breathe was alright.
That's my favorite. I think like his Evil Dead is okay, and then like Girl in the Spider's Web and Alien Romulus are stinkers.
Oh god, he did Romulus.
Yeah, I
oh,
didn't like
throw that man away.
Romulus.
God, that shit worse than fucking Covenant. All right, continue.
Anyway, yeah, no, I like Albert Brooks a lot too. As a performer, I mean, even though he is often playing like kind of ornery characters a lot of the time, I do find him to be kind of a weirdly comforting presence. Not so much in Drive. That's where he's really scary. But like, you know, when he's kind of like playing lovable jerks and everything, like even in like stuff like This Is 40, where he's like Paul Rudd's like, you know, unreliable dad who's always hitting him up for money. Like I think he's like kind of funny in that, and endearing, where he's like saying like, all right, fine, you don't want to give me money, I guess I gotta shoot one of my kids. Come on, kids are being shot. And he like takes them out and he's shooting them with like a water gun.
That's such a Simpsons joke too, I feel like.
And I think his movies are really well directed too. I mean, like I'd say they're like, you know, not even necessarily from like a camera point of view, but like I think his timing in terms of like when to like cut the joke is like just pitch perfect. Yeah, and I think like, you know, it's funny to see him just like, you know, when he's like pacing around rooms, he's like rising in anger and everything. Like when he's like shouting at Julie Haggerty on the Hoover Dam, and he like, you know, there's like it's like, oh, you can see all the people who are like behind them are like, oh geez, we gotta get out of the way here. Whatever's happening here, this couple's going through something. Yeah, just like so many funny lines too. I mean, like, yeah, the bit where they're talking about Easy Rider, and it's like, well, they left with nothing. It's like, they did not have nothing, they had cocaine.
They sold it.
And I think Haggerty's really funny in this too. I mean, the bit when like after she's lost all their money, but like you can see at the table her eyes are like darting as if she's like still looking for like another way that she's thinking,
22.
I can still get out of this. Yeah. The Gary Marshall scene, perfection.
Best scene in the movie, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if we were talking about like the best performances by people who are like directors, I think Gary Marshall would definitely be in the conversation for that. Yeah, I mean, and just like the way Brooks like cycles through the pitch and everything is so funny when like he's just like so desperate. The way it just like all starts to run together, where it's like the Miracle on 34th Street. It's just like, oh yeah, well like the Gimples, and then Gary Marshall says, well no, like that was different. That's Santa Claus. He's like, well then we get him. We get Santa Claus. That's the ad. I got the chills. Just like completely insincere the way he just rattles it off.
The inability to give up is incredible. Like even in the scene where at the beginning where he's where he ends up losing his job because he thinks that he's getting this promotion, and then he gets into the room and this other guy's getting this promotion and he's being shipped off to New York, which is being presented to him like it's a promotion, which it seems like it is. Like it seems like it's a really kind of cush deal. But he's just so locked in on this idea of what his life is supposed to be that he like he just does not like relent to this, and like it just keeps building and building. And what you said, Bryden, about like timing, I think is really like 100% sort of the secret sauce for like his style of comedy in general. Is like he really lets stuff play out. He has a lot of patience for like letting a scene go like to the point of discomfort, but then finding humor in that discomfort and then letting it still go, but not like never letting it go too long to where it like wears out its welcome. It keeps building, and then he lets it drop at like the perfect moment. The Gary Marshall scene is a great example of that too, where that's like a 10-minute scene of him trying to sell a casino owner on the idea that it's good for their business to sometimes, every now and then, give the money back to the people who have lost the money, and like it'll draw people towards them because you can advertise like, hey, you never know sometimes. Like, but
even then, he's still like holding himself to like a higher standard. It's like, well, there'd be a vetting process to see, setting aside like the gamblers from like the regular people like us. I mean, I also love the punchline of like the scene when he's trying to get into the couple suite and like he's trying to bribe with like the $50, and then it's like, all right, I'm not good at this. I don't get like good seats at baseball games. I don't get ringside tables. How much do you want? $100. Okay, cut. That's just like the very, very well timed. And
then they're in the junior, like what is like the junior honeymoon suite?
That's just a regular ass room.
Honeymoon suite.
and he keeps asking the guy questions. He's like, I don't know. Like, he just like clearly has no patience for him.
I felt that in my bones. Anybody ask me anything, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Is there anybody I could?
I just work here. Yeah. I also think, and Brooks in this movie, like you are like laughing at his expense and everything, but I do think like it's an interesting thing he pulls off that like both him and Haggerty as performers and him and Johnson as writers too, where like you do believe that he and Haggerty, even though they fight and say do things that drive each other nuts and everything, like you do believe that they like actually do care about each other and everything. I mean, there is something weirdly kind of affirming near the end of the movie where he's like, I mean, even though like it is him kind of giving in and being like, he wants to go back to his job for something that he's not super into and everything, but he's just like, hey, if we survive the last 2 weeks, we're totally gonna be getting through this and everything. Yeah, and the scene when like it's after he gets beaten up by the person who like she hitchhikes with and everything, and then they get away, and like she says like, oh my goodness, like he really got you. It's like, I'm surprised about this. And he's like, well, I really showed him and everything. Like, and they start laughing about it and everything. And he's like, well, don't make fun of me and everything. But like, there is like that kind of shared humor. And you're like, okay, I could like buy that why this couple is like, has weathered through, even though it seems like he really does like just annoy her from scene one where he's like asking like questions at like 3 a.m. or whatever. But yeah.
But even that scene, it has a nice sort of familiarity of like, she puts up with it to a point, and then she kind of is like he'll just keep going, and she'll just be like, okay, well, I'm going to bed. Like, like, okay. And he's like, okay, well, like, maybe I'm, like, he's kind of like, maybe I'm just a piece of shit then. And she's like, I don't know, maybe you are. And like, that's like that. Like, he's like, I'm going to go sleep in the garage. And she's like, all right, see you. Like, I think that there is like a nice thing there of like, they know the rhythms of each other. And so she knows like when he's like being ridiculous, and like, rather than kind of enabling it or like, having too big of an issue with it, like they bicker and squabble, but they like match each other really well.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. Like, even in the scene where, like, he impulsively, like, begs, he quits. Well, it's funny how he plays up the thing. It's like, I quit my job. And it's like, I mean, he tries to pull, like, you're not firing me. I quit already. But it's like, he's been fired already. But then, like, he was trying to get her to
convince her to quit her job.
And she's like, whoa, we'll talk about this tonight. Like, yeah, it's, yeah. It's also funny, too, just pairing this movie with, After Hours, where it's like, you know, someone who has like a, you know, nice, steady sort of like humdrum life, doing what they do. And then they're like, why don't I change up the routine a little bit? And then it just like goes disastrously wrong for them at the end of the movie. And they're like, okay, never doing that again. Yeah.
The perils of yuppie wanderlust, I think, are a nice theme.
Yeah, for sure. Kevin, what did you think about this? Had you seen this before?
I had not seen this prior. I think the only one Jack showed me Real Life, and then I saw Defending Your Life, and then rewatched it for the pod. And I'm pretty much going to reiterate what I said on Defending Your Life, that I'm positive, but I'm fine on it. Brooks is not my guy, but I haven't seen any of his movies that I dislike. I think Real Life is probably my favorite of his that he directed and wrote.
Yeah.
Real Life is great. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I think in order to like any of his movies as a writer-director, you really kind of got to buy in on like the Brooks like shtick. So like if you're so on it, I think there is like definitely a ceiling for how much is going to work for you.
I like this more than Defending Your Life. But
interesting. Do you know what was the thing that sort of pushed this over the edge a little over that movie for you? If I'm curious.
I mean, this one is just I don't know what it is. I mean, I just do like, I like even though that him and Streep do have like unmatched chemistry, I like the chemistry with her and him and Haggerty a little bit more.
I think Haggerty's fucking amazing in this
She's so
movie.
good. She's so good. But yeah, I like them going back and forth, and also different dynamic. One is a romantic one that is budgeting, and the other one is I assume they've been married for a long time, so very much interested in somebody who knows his little things, just like the perfect scene to open this movie, which is like Albert Brooks to a T. It's just like not letting his wife go to sleep because he's worrying about things. It's just like, yeah, that's Albert Brooks. So, but yeah, I do like him more as an actor than his writing, directing stuff, but I still do want to see Modern Romance most of all, because I feel like that's a movie that I'm just like, I don't like this because I see myself in it. But also, Mitchell, you interviewed Albert Brooks this fucking year.
That's true.
And was he just like the guy in Drive, or?
He did Murder Me.
Oh.
So no, he was great. He called me on the phone, which is not the most common thing in the world. So it's like weird to pick up my phone and say, like, you know, hi, this is Mitchell, and just hear, hi, this is Albert Brooks. We scheduled it through his assistant, scheduled it for 30 minutes. After like 30 minutes, I was like, how are you doing on time? And he was like, oh, we can just keep going. I'm having a great time. And we ended up talking for like an hour and a half. Like it really was like genuinely like the greatest like day of my life. Like it was really incredible. Like his stuff like means a lot to me. And it like there aren't a lot of times doing interviews where I end up feeling like I'm just kind of like hanging out with like a friend kind of thing and just like having like a nice conversation. But that really felt like that. And it was really nice. And like so that interview was specifically kind of targeted for Modern Romance for its anniversary, that's my favorite Albert Brooks movie. It's my second favorite movie of all time. The next episode of this podcast is going to be us talking about my favorite movie of all time.
We're giving Mitchell ice cream before we put them down.
But we worked in, you know, stuff through like all of his movies, just like through the conversation. And so it was really, yeah, it was a great time. He was the best.
That had to have been the one you were most nervous about, no?
I was freaking the fuck out. Yeah, I was really, really terrified about it. And yeah, but it's still, I think it's certainly my favorite interview that I've ever done. And I felt really good coming out of it, but I'm sure that a lot of that was just, you know, based on what kind of he was giving to the conversation.
Yeah. That's your favorite published interview, because the one with Guy Ritchie for In the Gray never came out, right?
Right. I like that movie. Have you guys seen In the Gray?
No.
No, but like I know a couple. I know at least one person who's like a Guy Ritchie tourist was like, oh yeah, this rips, and I was like, okay.
If you say so.
I will also say the fact that it's like and it's like 90 minutes too. I was like, okay, that's a little more of a selling point for me as opposed to like. I think like Fountain of Youth, which came out last year, was like 2 hours plus, and I was like,
yeah, I never
what the
watched
fuck is
that.
Fountain of Youth? Never mind.
It's like an Apple original it's like a kids movie. John Krasinski and Natalie Portman in it. I never watched that, but In the Gray, I really liked it. So Dan Mecca and Connor O'Donnell have been on.
I've heard of
here. The three of us we were texting each other. We all ended up separately seeing In the Gray at the exact same time at like 11 a.m. on opening day. Like I texted them and I was like, just sat down for In the Gray. And Connor was like, I'm also seeing In the Gray. And Dan was like, I'm in the car on the way to go see In the Gray. So the only three people who saw In the Gray on opening day were the three of us. But I really enjoyed it.
yeah. Well, you also saying the seeing it in theaters. I can't even think of what the last Guy Ritchie movie was that came out in theaters in Canada. Like,
really?
I feel like a lot of his movies have gone like straight to streaming. Like, yeah.
Maybe.
Man, Canada's got it right. They're just like, no thanks. we don't need those
That's
imports.
all right. You belong on the television, sir. You can go on the laptop, and that's it.
From the scoundrel that brought you Snatch? No, thank you. No, thank you. Okay, back to Brooks. I'm very sorry, Guy Ritchie. Will we ever be able to cover a Guy Ritchie movie as a mini major? I hope not.
Who put out Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels or Revolver?
I was
don't
about to
know.
say maybe Revolver.
We'll look it up. We'll do some digging. Yeah.
I accidentally watched Voltaire. I'm like, I thought that's what we were covering.
That's a good movie.
I should probably watch that. Okay, Lost in America. Back to I'm very sorry, Mitchell. This is probably playing in your home like right now. The Albert Brooks documentary. Like, what does he talk about? Lost in America and that.
He doesn't actually talk that much about it. I was rewatching it the other night to remind myself kind of what he talks about in it. Yeah, the documentary Kevin's talking about is a Rob Reiner directed. It was the last thing that Rob Reiner directed. Rob Reiner and Albert Brooks were like best friends, like from childhood. Yeah. And it's just like it's just the two of them having a conversation about like Albert Brooks' career. It's a lot of it is kind of his like his starting points, like what, like his stand-up, his like talk show appearances, the SNL shorts, the comedy albums that he did, a little bit of background on like his parents, and they kind of like quickly like brush through a lot of the movies in a way that I was a little bit surprised by. I really like the movie because it's just, I like hanging out with Albert Brooks for an hour and a half. I'm not going to complain about that, but I was surprised with like the Lost in America section genuinely is probably like 3 minutes long, like at most. And it was sort of him just kind of giving the basics of like wanting to make a movie about like thinking the idea was funny of people who, you know, these two well-off people who throw it all away, go out on the road, they have this nest egg, they immediately lose it. Like they basically throw it all away with this big scheme. It immediately goes horribly wrong. And then they like turn tail and give up on the idea of like throwing it all away and giving up, and like the sort of like fantasy illusion of that, which I also think is very funny, and I think it's a really smart concept, and I love the idea of it, that it's like, here's this road movie, we're gonna like go on this adventure, throw it all away. Literally the first stop, she loses all of their money at the roulette table, and then they make one more stop because they like are just trying to like get something out of something. They both get shitty jobs. She works at it's like a fast food kind of place.
It's a
right?
Wiener
It's like
Schnitzel, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And then like he gets a
The
job as a
manager
crossing guard.
That's pretty good.
And then they give up. One of my favorite scenes is the when Brooks goes to like the temp agency to try and like get position for a job, and he's giving them all of his qualifications, and he's like, do you have anything in the $100,000 like salary range?
Yeah, where's it's like the white collar box that he's asking for.
The $100,000 box. And yeah, then they just give up. They go back to New York. He takes the job that he didn't want at the beginning at like a third of the salary, like begs for the job. But yeah, like it's really not that much in the doc. There's a couple people who talk about like, there's like throughout the doc, there's a bunch of like people talking about comedians, a bunch of comedians, and weirdly Alana Haim. Like it's like Steven Spielberg, Chris Rock, Jon Stewart, like Sarah Silverman. Here's all these people talking about Letterman, talking about how amazing Albert Brooks is and how he reinvents a comedy. And here's Alana Haim talking about how she like has a crush on him. It's kind of strange. When she pops up, like no disrespect to her, I like Alana Haim. It's just sort of like an odd like having her in the mix with like all these other people. But yeah, it's a nice, if people haven't seen it, it's a nice doc. I think it's really good to like get like all the background of how he really did like revolutionize comedy like when he first started off. So I think it's kind of worth watching for that more than like anything that you would get out of it from like about the movies. On the Criterion Blu-ray of Lost in America, there's like a 30-minute interview with him that's pretty good, specifically about Lost in America more, that I like a lot.
Yeah, you talking about this? I still need to see the Albert Brooks documentary, but like it is the thing that I feel like I hear people talk about whenever it's like a movie about like an artist or something like that and going through their whole career. It just like it kind of like speed runs through a lot of it and everything. Like I know that was like the thing with like even the 2.5 hour Spielberg documentary that HBO did. People were like, "The fuck? Where's the talk about AI and like all these other movies?"
Like the Scorsese like doc series that Apple did last year that Rebecca Miller directed. I haven't watched it, but it's like 5 parts, 5 hours, and like I've heard that they like really breeze by. Like I think it was like Hugo like doesn't even get mentioned once.
Oh my goodness!
And like there's like most of the movies they kind of like brush past like really quick. Like I know people said like Bringing Out the Dead gets like a minute, whatever.
That's brutal.
Which is that's one of my favorite movies. So like kind of a drag, but. Yeah, I think it's hard to do those kinds of things. You would think Albert Brooks, he's done 7 movies. Like it's not, there's not, to give 10 minutes to each of the movies. You're still clocking in under 80.
Yeah. Which I'm slowly going through the first season of SNL, and the Rob Reiner episode, I believe, is the 3rd episode.
Yeah.
No disrespect to the dead, but nobody liked him at SNL. But
Reiner?
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm curious about that because I looked it up and I was like, is that the one that has the Albert Brooks short that's like 15 fucking minutes long?
Yeah.
And it is.
It is, yeah.
The thing where they played part of it, went to commercial break, and came back and played more of it. And I think the thing is that Rob Reiner was like, I'm not hosting unless you play the short.
Really pushed for it, yeah.
And they were just like, I guess.
You know the Brooks lore in general with like SNL, that like originally it was pitched to Brooks as the Albert Brooks show, and they wanted him hosting every episode, and it was going to be like him hosting the variety show, and Albert Brooks is the one who was like, you should do it with a different guest host every episode. Like that was like he invented that concept for SNL, and then he also invented the digital shorts because he was like, what I'll do is I'll
mail you some short
films for you. If you just let me, like, I'll make them in LA, I'll do my thing and send them into you rather than doing like sketches. So like Lonely Island and all of that shit never would have really happened without Albert Brooks like doing his own thing. And the shorts hold up. Like they're really fucking funny.
I would say that for some reason Jason Reitman didn't know about that before making his movie, so that's interesting. Saturday Night, good movie. Don't care.
Yeah.
Don't care.
I thought Saturday Night was a fun movie.
See, me and
I had
Mitchell.
a good time with it. Bryden, you like Saturday Night?
You know what? Didn't see that one. I'm letting my Canadians down by not seeing that one.
You like Men, Women, and Children, Bryden? Men, Women, and Children?
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch that garbage.
I do not like that.
I'm gonna take maybe a gummy that has something in it and watch that and Disconnect, and it's gonna be fucking awesome.
Oh yeah, Disconnect sucks. Yeah,
that's like a
future
future intermission episode that Kevin can pitch. Yeah.
For some reason, Brian didn't show up, and the episode is 4
it's just
minutes
you
long.
alone talking about both of those movies.
We'll play like we'll play the almost major theme, but it'll be to the rhythm of "Sail" by AWOL Nation.
Have we covered it? We've covered a movie that had AWOL Nation in it, right?
Not yet. I mean, we'll see about MTV Films when we get to that.
Oh, they didn't exist.
It was in
then.
the era.
Or maybe the 2010s one. Maybe it's in Project Almanac. Maybe.
Well, they go see Imagine Dragons. I know about that.
Same band. Oh, I'm thinking of Incarnate. My bad. I'm so sorry. I always do this. I was thinking about the Aaron Eckhart joint Incarnate that starts with AWOL Nation Sail. Did it come out in January? You bet your goddamn ass it did. I'm pretty sure it's called Incarnate or Incinerate or
It's Incarnate.
it's
Yeah,
Incarnate.
I think you watched that, and I this is just stuff we know because Kevin will talk. We'll talk about this with Kevin in our group chat today. But
It's
I think
called
Kevin
Shared
mentioned
Trauma.
that.
Yeah.
And then I think you watched I Frankenstein. We're like, holy shit,
Back to
another
back.
Aaron Eckhart movie
Yeah.
where he walks into a club and Animal Nation plays.
I saw I Frankenstein in theaters.
I'm sorry.
How was that one?
Not good.
No.
Not good at all.
Very bad. If somebody was like, God, those are the type of movies where I'm like, it's terrible, and people were just like, what's bad about it? And I was like, I don't remember anything about it. I saw
I
it
don't
3
remember
months
a
ago.
single second of that movie.
Not at all. Anything else on Lost in America?
Oh, one thing that was just interesting to me. This is super nerdy. I've noticed with like some of the Geffen films that we've been doing, they just have the logo and nothing plays over them. Or it'll be like, whatever like first song or piece of music that they have for the movie will be playing over like the logo. Like Beetlejuice, I think, has like the Danny Elfman, Harry Belafonte remix like over the start of it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But then like Lost in America, it seems like almost like they just play like a little jingle and everything. Then it fades out, and then the movie starts proper. But I'm thinking, like, was this like their one-off attempt to do like, yeah, we'll have like theme music for like the Geffen logo and everything, and then they're like, no, we won't. They just did that for the one movie. Yeah, I just find that interesting sometimes with like studio logos. Like, this is also super nerdy. I'm about to bring up, but I remember
nerdy?
like,
come on.
I can't remember what company put out the movie Jackie, the Pablo Larraín movie, but like I remember for some reason
I think it's Searchlight.
It was Searchlight, I guess, was the distributor, but there was like one of the production companies, maybe 21 Laps or one of them. But for some reason, that's the only one where they decided, well, for the 21 Laps, we play Yellow Wolf over the 21 Laps logo for Jackie. I remember going to see it in the theater being just like, whoa, that's a lot to start with.
You think Jackie Kennedy would have liked Yellow Wolf? That's fucking wild.
If you're looking for more horror outside of the mainstream, look no further than Unsung Horrors, a podcast about underseen horror movies. I'm Lance.
And I'm Erica. Every other week, we'll cover a horror movie with fewer than 1,000 views on Letterboxd. We'll even give you double feature recommendations to pair with the movies we discuss.
From gothic to shot on video, from slashers to comedies, from giallo to J-horror, we'll cover all the subgenres. So join us as we unearth these hidden gems of horror.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all at Unsung Horrors, available wherever you listen to podcasts. And part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Thank you for listening. To hear more shows from the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network, please select the link in the description